Your life follows the direction of your thoughts. Think about that just for a moment. Every day, you have thousands of thoughts. Some build you up. Some tear you down. Some move you forward. Some hold you back. And over time, those thoughts become beliefs. Those beliefs become actions. Those actions become results. That is why success begins in a place most people never see. The mind. Many people think success starts with money, or opportunity, or talent, but it doesn't. Success starts with the way you think. You cannot have a positive life with a negative mind. Now, positive thinking is not pretending problems don't exist. It is not ignoring difficulties. It is not living in fantasy. Positive thinking is choosing to believe that challenges can be overcome, that setbacks can teach you, that your future can be better than your past. Because what you believe influences what you do, and what you do determines what you become. Think about two people facing the same obstacle. One says, "This is impossible." The other says, "This is difficult, but I can figure it out." Same obstacle, different thinking, different outcome, because the mind is powerful. If you fill it with doubt, you will hesitate. If you fill it with fear, you will stop. If you fill it with possibility, you will act. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But hard work and discipline are easier when your mind is working for you instead of against you. The greatest battle in life is not outside of you. It is inside of you. The battle between faith and fear, belief and doubt, possibility and limitation. And the side that wins shapes your future. We're going to explore how positive thinking creates success, how your thoughts influence your actions, how your attitude shapes your opportunities, and how a stronger mindset can transform your entire life. Because when you change your thinking, you begin changing your future. And that is where success begins. In the mind. Before it ever appears in the world, you become what you think about most of the time. Think about that. Really think about it. Every result in your life begins with a thought. Every action, every decision, every habit, it all starts in the mind. Before a person builds a successful life, they first build a successful mindset. Before a person achieves a goal, they first believe it is possible. That is why your thoughts matter. More than most people realize. Your life follows the direction of your dominant thoughts. Now understand this. Your mind is like a garden. Every day, seeds are being planted. Some seeds are positive. Some seeds are negative. Some seeds grow confidence. Some seeds grow doubt. And whatever you plant consistently will eventually grow. If you constantly think, "I can't do this. I am not good enough. I will probably fail," those thoughts begin to shape your actions. You hesitate. You procrastinate. You avoid opportunities. Not because you lack ability, but because your thoughts have convinced you to stay small. And over time, those thoughts become your reality. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine a person who says, "I can learn. I can improve. I can find a way." Do they face challenges? Of course. Do they experience setbacks? Absolutely. But their thinking pushes them forward instead of holding them back, because positive thinking creates possibility. The greatest limitation is often not in your circumstances. It is in your thinking. Think about how many opportunities people miss because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of looking foolish. And where does fear begin? In the mind. It begins with a thought. A thought, repeated often enough, becomes a belief. And a belief influences behavior. That is why guarding your thoughts is so important. Because your mind is constantly listening to you. The words you speak to yourself matter. The stories you tell yourself matter. The beliefs you repeat matter. They are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Now listen carefully. Positive thinking does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It does not mean ignoring problems. It does not mean living in fantasy. Positive thinking means believing that problems can be solved, that challenges can be overcome, that setbacks can teach valuable lessons. It is a mindset of possibility, and possibility creates action. When you believe something is possible, you begin looking for ways to make it happen. That is the power of belief. The mind begins searching for solutions, searching for opportunities, searching for ways forward, instead of searching for excuses. Now think about successful people. They are not successful because they never face difficulties. They are successful because they think differently about difficulties. Where others see obstacles, they see lessons. Where others see failure, they see feedback. Where others see limits, they see possibilities. And that difference changes everything, because your thoughts influence your actions, and your actions influence your results. It is a chain. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become results. That is why success begins in the mind long before it appears in reality. Change your thinking, and you begin changing your life. So pay attention to what you think. Pay attention to what you believe. Pay attention to the conversations happening inside your own mind, because those conversations are creating your future. If you want a better life, start with better thoughts. If you want greater success, develop greater belief. If you want different results, begin with a different mindset. Because every great achievement begins the same way, with a thought that says, it is possible. And from that thought, an entirely new life can begin. Think better, believe bigger, and remember your thoughts are creating the reality you will live tomorrow. Success begins long before the reward arrives. It begins with the way you think. Think about that. Most people believe success starts with action, and action is important, very important. But before action comes a decision. Before a decision comes a belief. And before a belief comes a thought. Everything begins in the mind. That is why positive thinking is so powerful. Not because it magically changes your circumstances, but because it changes you. And when you change, your results begin to change. For things to change, you have to change. Now understand something important. Positive thinking is not wishful thinking. It is not sitting in a chair and hoping life gets better. It is developing a mindset that looks for possibilities instead of limitations, solutions instead of excuses, growth instead of defeat. Think about two people facing the exact same problem. One says, "This is impossible." The other says, "This is difficult, but there must be a way." Who is more likely to succeed? The person who believes there is a way, because belief creates effort, and effort creates results. When you think positively, you approach challenges differently. You become more willing to try, more willing to learn, more willing to persist. And persistence is often what creates success. The person who keeps going usually wins. Now think about confidence. Where does confidence come from? Many people believe confidence comes after success, but often it works the other way around. Confidence begins with belief. Believing you can learn. Believing you can improve. Believing you can grow stronger. And that belief influences your actions. You take more chances. You speak with more certainty. You pursue bigger goals. Not because success is guaranteed, but because you believe progress is possible. That is positive thinking in action. Now let's talk about failure. Everyone experiences failure. Everyone experiences setbacks. Everyone experiences disappointment. The difference is how they interpret those experiences. Negative thinkers often see failure as proof they should stop. Positive thinkers see failure as feedback, a lesson, a teacher, a stepping stone. Every setback contains a lesson if you are willing to look for it. That mindset changes everything. Because instead of giving up, you learn. Instead of quitting, you adapt. Instead of stopping, you continue. And every time you continue, you grow stronger. Now understand this deeply. Your mind is always looking for evidence. If you believe life is against you, your mind will search for proof. If you believe opportunities exist, your mind will search for those too. That is why your thoughts matter. They influence what you notice, what you focus on, what you pursue. And what you pursue often determines what you achieve. Positive thinking creates success because it keeps you moving forward. Not because it removes obstacles, but because it helps you face them. Not because it guarantees success, but because it increases the likelihood that you'll keep trying. And success often belongs to the person who stayed in the game the longest. Success is not magic. It is the result of small efforts repeated day after day. Positive thinking fuels those efforts. It helps you wake up and try again. It helps you believe when progress is slow. It helps you stay committed when others quit. And over time, those small efforts compound. The confidence grows. The skills improve. The opportunities increase. And what started as a positive thought eventually becomes a positive result. So choose your thoughts carefully. Feed your mind with possibility. Feed your mind with growth. Feed your mind with belief. Because success is not created by negativity. It is created by a mind that sees potential and acts on it. Think positively. Believe deeply. Act consistently. And watch how your life begins to change. The same wind blows on us all. The difference is in the set of the sail. Think about that. Life does not treat everyone differently. Not at first. Everyone faces problems. Everyone faces pressure. Everyone faces uncertainty. The difference is not in the obstacle. The difference is in the mind that faces it. Because some people look at obstacles and stop. Others look at the same obstacles and grow. Every problem carries the seed of an equal or greater opportunity. But most people never see the seed because they are too focused on the problem. They see difficulty. They see delay. They see resistance. And they conclude, this is the end of the road. But successful people see something different. They see a question, not a wall. They see a lesson, not a failure. They see a path, not a dead end. That is the power of perspective. Now think about this. An obstacle does not define your ability. It reveals your thinking. Two people can face the same situation. One becomes discouraged. The other becomes determined. Same situation. Different interpretation. Different outcome. Because life is not just what happens to you. It is how you interpret what happens to you. Your perspective is more powerful than your circumstances. Now let's go deeper. When most people face obstacles, they immediately ask, why is this happening to me? But successful people ask a different question. What can I learn from this? What can I do next? How can I grow from this? That shift is everything. Because the first question keeps you stuck. But the second question moves you forward. Now understand this clearly. Obstacles are not placed in your life to stop you. They are placed in your life to test you, to strengthen you, to prepare you. Because without resistance, there is no growth. Without challenge, there is no strength. Without difficulty, there is no development. What challenges you, changes you. Think about nature. A tree grows stronger when the wind blows against it. If there is no wind, the tree becomes weak. Life works the same way. Your challenges are not your enemies. They are your training ground. Now imagine two people starting the same journey. One avoids difficulty. The other embraces it. One tries to make life easy. The other tries to become stronger. Years later, their results will not be the same because one avoided growth and the other built it. Now listen carefully. Opportunities are rarely obvious at first. They are often hidden inside problems, inside pressure, inside struggle. And most people never find them because they stop too early. But But those who persist, those who stay curious, those who stay open-minded, they discover something powerful. That what looked like a setback was actually a setup for growth, a setup for strength, a setup for opportunity. Difficulties often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destinies. So when life becomes difficult, do not immediately reject it. Do not immediately fear it. Do not immediately quit. Look deeper. Ask better questions. Think differently. Stay open. Because opportunity is often disguised as challenge. And the people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid obstacles. They are the ones who learn to see beyond them. So when others see walls, you see doors. When others see problems, you see possibilities. When others see limits, you see lessons. And that difference creates your future. See beyond the obstacle. Find the opportunity. And keep moving forward. Thinking alone is not enough. Action gives thought its power.